I was hanging by my fingertips off of the balcony at Todd's office when I overheard him talking to Pete. And Todd said, "Pete, get your ass in here." And Pete comes in and he says, "Yes, Todd. Yes, Mr. Todd. Yes, Mr. Howard. What do you need?" And Todd says, "I've been looking at the reactions to Fallout 76. And I am not happy, Pete." And Pete said, "Oh, yes, Todd. Yes, Mr. Todd. I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again." And Todd said, "Yeah, it's never going to happen again because I'm delaying Starfield." And Pete looks up at Todd and says, "But Mr. Todd, you can't delay Starfield. The gamers, they want it." And Todd says, "Well, if they wanted it, they should have thought about that before complaining about Fallout 76. And Pete says, "Please, my children, they were looking forward to it. It was all they wanted this year." And Todd says, "Well, Starfield isn't coming out in 2019. It's coming out in 2020. And Pete said, "Oh, please, Mr. Todd, I don't know. I can't. My children, they need surgery. My boy he's got a bad leg, and if he doesn't get surgery, he's never going to be able to walk again." And Todd said, "Well, Pete, if you had done a better job, everybody would have loved Fallout 76. So really, this is all your fault. Your son, he's not going to be able to walk anymore. Your dog, he's going to have to eat generic brand dog food." And then Todd took out a can of brand name dog food. He opened it up and ate the whole thing right in front of Pete. And he said, "Your dog's never going to have anything as good as this anymore because you're not getting the Starfield bonus this year. You're going to have to wait till next year, Pete." And then Pete said, "Oh, please, Mr. Todd." And Pete said, Don't you Mr. Todd me, Pete. My name's Todd Howard. My dad's name was Mr. Todd. You will use my full name, Pete." And then Pete said, yes, Todd Howard, yes, it'll never happen again." And then Pete said, "Go tell the team." And then Pete left, sobbing and crying, snot flying all over. And then Todd said, "Without Starfield coming out this year, that gives me room for Skyrim on Stadia." And I gasped. And then Todd said, "Who the hell is out there?" And he looked over the balcony, he saw me. He grabbed me by my hair and lifted me up. And he said, "Catman, what the hell are you doing here?" And I said, "I came back to get my cat that you stole from me. But now I'm going to tell everybody that Starfield isn't coming out this year. It's coming out next year, 2020. November 8th, 2020. And Todd said, "Yeah? And how are you going to do that?" And I said, "Well, I'm not. She is." And Todd says, "Huh?" And then Sadie leaps up and gets on the back of his head. And Sadie weighs like 5,000 pounds. And so his head just pulls back like that. And his head just pops off of his body. And I'm like, "Oh, Todd's dead." It turns out Todd is like some immortal god being. And he just starts laughing and says, "Ha ha ha ha! You cannot kill me. I'm the Todd." And then I blacked out and I woke up in my bed. Sadie was there though, so it all worked out in the end.